Bring back the song. Heard that before.
Ken Kniff. You don't listen to a lot of Eminem, though, do you?
Yeah, I do occasionally.
Yeah, there's no blast beats in Eminem.
There should be. I wish there was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He could probably rap that fast. Yeah. But Ken Kniff. Ken Kniff.
These headsets.
Oh, yeah, look, we're...
Johnny Fever. Johnny Fever over here.
So, we
Us.
are... Who are you?
Oh, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, you don't know? Check the screen. TJ Combo.
Can't read. I can't read. I am Adam Ronan, and what is in between the lines?
At the end of this, two of us, right?
Right, there's a long dangly
There's a
something
long
else.
piece in between, and at
Yep.
the end of that,
It's
Gordy.
Gordy!
hashtag free Gordy.
Oh, Tim is fat. What it do?
Said what it is.
Yep, Gordy has a mic. It's working. Everything's good. Tell everyone you say hello. Tell them how your day is going. Say,
Yep.
I, Gordy. You say what you want to say, but start it with I, Gordy.
I, Gordy, am having a wonderful day.
God, you fucking sound like
It's like an angel.
an angel.
An angel just tickling my ear hole.
Light crowd tonight because all of our normies is what I like to call them.
We got anniversaries. We got vacations.
Birthdays.
KIT is a big event for the fight game community, so everybody's probably watching that too.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
they should probably be watching this
It should be.
because
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can see a Mortal Kombat match any day of the week.
Yep.
You can't see an AR or a TJ or a G face.
Nope. I do this one time a week for you guys. You're lucky.
Yep.
One time.
Okay. Well, we're gonna get started. Let me make sure that audio levels are solid. Timmy, what are you geeking on?
I did so little this week. It's not even funny. Bodied by life. Like, exhausted from work. Played 0 moments of video games. It was the
I'm
worst
back. I
week
couldn't hear
ever.
a word you just said.
No, I was like bodied by life this week. Like, I got to play 0 moments of video games.
I thought you were.
I did one bit of testing, and that was it.
I thought you were gonna play with the Bonehawk crowd last night.
I was going to. Came home, was exhausted. I had to stay at a friend's house because I was watching his dogs.
Oh.
And I was just like,
oh, so when you said you were at Jeremy's, you weren't like there at Jeremy's. You were just at Jeremy's.
right, I was like literally just at his house. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, he wasn't there, going through his underwear drawer and stuff.
That's not the underwear door I would go through if I was at Jeremy's house. Anyway, so you're not playing shit. Do you want-
Tomorrow is my day. Like, there's nothing going on tomorrow.
No. What do you?
Yeah.
You watch anything this week?
The OC.
Yeah.
That was it. That's all I got to watch.
California. What season you on?
Season 3.
Look, you're admitting this.
I'm in the Volchek era right now.
Volchek. He's a piece, right?
He is. He's
Yeah.
a character. That dude, in every movie I've ever seen him in, because he's in like Never Back Down and stuff.
Which was a great movie. That
movie's awesome.
An underrated
That
film.
movie's seriously awesome.
Yeah.
But that dude has 0% body fat all the time.
Oh yeah.
Like, he can't gain a pound to save his life.
No.
Just shrapnel.
Yeah. Well, drugs.
Yeah.
Volchek's on a lot of drugs.
He's got to be.
Marissa also has no fat, so that's just a couple of skeletons just clink,
Yeah.
clink, clink.
She's put it on now, though.
What do you mean?
Have you seen pictures of her recently?
Oh no, I thought she literally died in that car accident.
Oh, dude, she
Did I just spoil it
seriously,
for you?
No, she's seriously, like, she's gone downhill. She spent a lot of time in rehab.
Well, she was never really at the top of the hill to begin with.
Yeah, she's just an awful character. Like, if they wrote her off the series, I'd be like, all right, it's good. Let's keep moving.
You realize that we've now opened the show talking about the OC.
Right.
What's your next show? One Tree Hill? 90210?
I'm going to go back to Gilmore Girls for sure.
Oh, dude,
yeah.
you got to get down on that
Get that Rory.
other show that I was about to reference, but now the name escapes me.
He escapes you. It escapes me to another place.
Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, that's always a pass for me.
Katherine Heigl. See you next Tuesday. Am I right? Gordy, what do you?
Gory joins the show and it becomes The View. Talking about our stories.
Gordy, what are you geeking on?
Geeking on. A game called Bravely Default for 3DS.
That is very much geeking. That's like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that
dude.
embraces the word geeking.
He's like, check out my outdated piece of technology.
It's pedo tracker. That's all it is. You just
Pedo, like fucking
NX
child molester.
1.0.
yeah, dude. Like you just use like the little app on there to see like where other players are for games, and you can find like other 7-year-old kids and stuff who are playing.
They're all at Subway.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is that? What is Bravely?
Bravely Default
Bear.
is a RPG for the 3DS, and it is made by Square Enix, and it's probably the best RPG they've made since Final Fantasy VII.
Strong words.
Yeah,
Strong.
very
words.
strong.
Strong words.
Hey,
Very solid mechanics.
Is it turn based?
Yes,
What's it look like? I want to know.
it looks cool. Do you want me to pull up a video?
Yep, that would have been your cue.
hey, Gordy, remember when you used to be into Zelda?
Oh my
Like,
God!
every
Everybody
day
look
of
at the
my
chat.
life?
Look at the chat.
Is that who is this guy? Chase hates eggs.
Is that a
is
new?
This my
Is that a new guy?
Is this my long lost Chase?
You say long lost or long lost?
Same.
It could be both.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
Can't it be both?
Chase, you beautiful bastard.
Does this have like awesome RPG style music going on?
I'm not gonna lie. When you said take a look at the chat, I thought I was gonna look and it was gonna be like 86 viewers or something. And I was like,
You're right. Yeah, right.
oh shit! I'm stoked that Chase is here. We've missed you. Oh my god, turn that down. Fuck.
Cheese.
Jeez. Anyway, I was saying, Gordy, do you remember when you used to like Zelda?
Yes, every day of my life.
Remember how that new Zelda
Oh,
game?
he used sharpshoot.
Remember that new Zelda game that came out on 3DS that we both bought our 3DSs for that you never even finished? Why don't you play that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Why don't you play that? Call him out.
What are you talking about?
Gordy gets
No
a mic and I
reference.
reveal all the skeletons in his closet. And that's
We just brought him on to exploit him.
that's the biggest
Yeah.
skeleton is that
I have it might not be known to viewers, but my close friends know that
he doesn't finish games.
sometimes I don't like to finish games. It's something that
Games?
happened when I was a kid.
What do you
I
mean?
just-
That's all you did when we were kids. You finished games.
Well, there was a
like
point.
everyone knew you as Gordy finished games McTronitus.
Is it like this with everything? Is it not just video games? Does it not stop there? Is he eating like
no.
he's eating some sushi and he's like, this is so good.
Well,
I will never take another bite.
First of all, you'll never see him even put a piece of sushi in his mouth.
Which is weird because he's like,
He is the
He
most
is-
white or the most Japanese.
he's the most Japanese white guy I've ever met in my
Yeah,
life.
but no, sushi's fucking off limits.
So that's a pass.
Yeah, oh, it's a huge bad.
Yeah.
I have a video of Gordy eating sushi with Ben and I once, and like I'm videoing it, and he takes a bite of sushi, and he's like, and I'm like, well, what do you think? He's like, well, I don't like it. And
No, sir, I don't like it.
no, sir. And he didn't eat another piece.
Okay. Let's see this video.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yep.
God.
It's taking you so long, Gordy. Shit.
Gordy's wedding night, halfway through that sweet love making. And he's like, you know what?
Never gonna do this again.
Never mind.
All right, walk us through, Gordy.
Okay, it's just, I mean, it's an RPG. The graphics aren't as good as they could be, but the mechanics are really solid. Obviously, you're
Is
rolling
that
your eyes right
triangle
now.
in the corner in the game, or is that a watermark for this?
It's a
douchebag's
watermark.
video? Okay.
This screen to
But
the right
because
is
they've got
actually
two screens
the
that they're
second
capturing
screen.
for us.
Good call.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
So this one up top.
Is that watermark in the screen?
But it's just, I don't know, I like it.
The worst part is when you said, is that triangle? I thought you were referencing this goblin-shaped creature.
Because of
Yeah.
the polygons.
Yeah.
Because Nintendo's antiquated business model.
That's Nintendo 64 right there.
Well, is it cool?
Yeah, I like it a lot. It's very solid. Classic RPG gameplay with some twists. The graphics aren't terrible, you know. It's
Well,
handheld, so you don't
let's-
expect.
Let's not jump the gun.
It actually looks pretty bad.
No, I mean
quality transfer.
for 3DS, it's aight.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
aight. Oh, look, treasure chest. Wonder where they got that idea.
Yeah, I
A
don't
game
know.
called Zelda that you should play.
Yes, yes, I should.
Okay, that's cool. So you've
Those
been
guys
playing
are
that.
so happy to fight you. Look at them dancing.
Okay.
Chase is calling you out. Chase says Gordy never finishes.
Oh no.
I wonder what he means by that. Because when I never finishes, it's like Gordy's in a constant, perpetual state of blue balls. Like he just never finishes.
It's like, yeah. Nope. Here it comes again.
Okay.
What'd you do?
Yeah.
What'd you
What
do this
about
week?
you?
Well, I'm getting pretty excited about Killer Instinct Season Trace. Mm-hmm. So I'm, trying to buff up because I'm going to win that Evo money,
Right.
And by that, I mean I'm going to like beat up the winner of Evo in the parking lot and take his winnings.
Run away with a gigantic check that's like 6 feet long.
Yeah. Oh my God, sorry.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's a cold passed around this office by the end of the day.
Was that?
Everybody's hacking and coughing and like. Bleh.
How's that? No, so I'm playing some Killer Instinct, but not as often as I'd like. But I've been labbing a bit. I've been labbing that Shadow Jag, and I'll tell you why.
Tell me why.
So Shadow Jago,
Yeah.
color number 4, R24 colors.
Just all
It's fucking pink and blue.
pink and blue looking.
Yeah, so
Yeah?
I've been grinding to fucking unlock that,
Nice.
and I finally did.
Dude, he's a
Because-
super cool character. He looks
He's great.
awesome.
Oh,
Like
he's way fun.
Yeah, and his moveset is ridiculous.
And I'm like going back and forth. Like, do I keep combo assist on or do I take it off? I don't know.
There's nothing wrong with keeping it on because you can override it
Yeah, that's
when it's on, so it doesn't make a difference. You're
that-
still not
that
going to
is true.
finish. I mean, it's not going to give you a combo. You still have to finish it out.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So, I've been doing that, but really I've just been plugging away, trying to build this website, trying to fucking live my life like a good little Mormon, Just knocking on people's doors.
I don't know. Yeah.
Who is this? Oh, that's cute.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. So that's what I'm geeking on.
Nice. Tomorrow, you guys going to see a movie?
Yeah, we're gonna go see a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Gordy and a buddy of ours named Ben are gonna take another buddy of ours named Bone. We're gonna take him to see Star Wars because he's the fucking last person on America that hasn't seen Star Wars.
It's true.
And I was telling him about how much Tim is fat digs on Adam Driver's performance.
Exactly.
And he was like, "I need to see this."
He's like, Tim is Fat said that. I'm there.
Yeah. What is he gonna do when you're like ripped? Is he gonna like change it to like Tim is indestructible?
It's like Tim used to be fat. 6, 7, 8, 9.
Speaking of, our friend Ben, me and Gordy, is probably going to physically drop into the office to say hi to and watch the stream.
As of right now, he's like a no-show.
No, as of right now, he's walking through the door.
Nope, he's a no-show. He's not here.
As of right now, he's a no-show.
Not here.
Right. So, be prepared. Yeah, Bone is going out in public. Live savage. Bone's notoriously a pretty socially inept human being.
You try and keep the bone put away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't bone the bone bones you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's move on to this week's happening in news, gaming news. There's been some things, but there's a couple of things.
This is a big one.
There's a big one. There's a big one. First of all, everybody knows that we're all pretty big MK fans. MK being Mortal Wombat.
Yep.
And what don't we like about Mortal Kombat?
Playing online.
Why is that?
Because you can't.
It's simple as that. Simple as that.
Yeah.
But what can you do now?
Nothing.
Because
Because they haven't changed anything. No, so on January 19th, you can actually sign up for a beta. They are going to be releasing a possible new version of the GGPO netcode, which is a much more advanced and much more modern netcode.
good game, peace out.
Yep. And this version of netcode is actually, I think it's going to be a derivative of it. They're not just using the code, they're kind of creating their own. But it's going to be very similar to what Killer Instinct uses and also what Street Fighter V uses. And both of those have awesome online play.
It's impeccable. Impeccable netcode.
Ooh, Boss Battle Ace.
Boss Battle Ace. He is a beautiful person. Oh. You hear that 6'5" stomp, stomp, stomp.
Stomping down the stairs.
Stomping down the stairs.
You can actually hear all 3 of his legs dragging down.
Fun fact about Ben. He has a big penis. Are you here? I don't know. Am I hearing shit? Is there no Ben Renelson here?
I don't know. There's something creaking around over there. Some kind of monster
Is
in
there
the
a
closet.
rabbit?
There's something.
Is he in a rabbit costume?
I don't know.
Is he even here?
Something's here.
What the fuck? All right. Okay, so let's pull up that trailer. They released a trailer. This was all. So this, of course, teased by Ed Boon last week.
Right. It wasn't much of a teaser. Like, he literally bolded everything and
He's not good at teasing anymore.
Yeah.
Like, he used to be pretty cryptic, and now he's just...
Yeah,
like,
before he's like, look to the sky. And now he just makes it bold and you just have to read it.
He just misspells reptile with, like, a Y. Okay, so this is Tyler Lansdowne. He's the community manager of Mortal Kombat NetherRealm Studios.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking right now, but he's controlled by the mole on his face. He's just kind of blabbing, and you'll see here smooth Mortal Kombat play. That is...
Probably because it's offline.
Or it's online.
Yeah. Now, the reason that this is super cool is this game still has the capability of being a huge fighter.
Well,
Right? It's not too far past its prime. It's only like 9 months off release.
Yeah, so you can think of it as like it's been gestating in Ed Boon's stomach. Now it's ready for birth. Right?
They're admitting that they were wrong. They were so wrong, it's not even funny.
Well, and it's funny because we can't hear it because Gordy fucking cranked that volume all the way down. But Tyler Lansdowne says at the beginning, "We've been listening to you on Twitter, and
heard you on social media."
and your feedback." And
He whistles through his tooth hole.
and his mole's like,
Such a cartoony looking individual.
I'm not talking shit. He's a cool
Yeah.
dude. I'm sure of it. I wonder if that's loud in the chat.
I don't know.
Check it
I don't want to make it too loud for him. But what's cool, though, is, and it's weird that they're doing it, they're not doing like a full launch of the online. They're doing a beta. So you'll actually sign up for it on January 19th. And the advantage to that is they can test it, bring it down, and you'll actually still have a full version of the game to play if you're not in the beta. And it's only going to include 4 characters. However, we need to get a camera on this guest
that
appearance.
Grab that stool. Come over here.
He's going to smash out lights.
Click over to the solo screen.
Watch this.
Say hi to the people. Oh, silence.
It's like he's not even there.
He's not even here.
He's like a fragment of your imagination. You're not even seeing this. We're still just talking about Mortal Kombat.
We are. This is great. That's upsetting.
Let's,
Oh!
Lights falling down and stuff.
Have you ever met Ben?
Like a couple million times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Going back all the way to the
Here,
The-
want to sit with me?
I think it was
Don't stomp on that iPad by your feet.
it was the practice I went to. I went to your practice.
Oh, like 12 years ago?
Yeah.
Shortly before Ben ousted me from that band. That's funny.
Yeah,
Oh, this is good.
he was that
Oh,
sexy rabbit of a bass player.
what the fuck? This is awesome. No, he is a fan. You can't tell from from the visage, but he's a fantastic bass player. Probably one of the best I've known. And then he gave up on that.
I like this in chat. Guys, what did I miss? You're probably wondering what's going on at this exact moment.
Who's saying that? I can't see the chat from here.
Flappy Sammy Hammy.
Oh, what up, Flappy? Where was I? And by the way, you can't hear videos for Dick on it live.
okay.
So you could probably turn them
I'll
up.
nudge it up.
Just go.
Little pinch.
You were walking us through the Mortal Kombat.
So we were talking GGPO. Good game. Peace out.
Okay, so now inform me a bit, if you may. So I was reading about the current system that they have,
Right.
Where
Which is like
it's-
mega antiquated.
Well, it's a delayed input type of deal,
Right.
Now I read, but I don't get that. So like,
I don't think anybody does. I think this was like a Mach 1 that they just kept using. It's basically like two people had to input something and then it has to like be agreed upon before it actually plays out in the system, which is really weird.
yeah, I just said though words. I don't get how that works. Like when I'm playing MK, it's laggy.
Well, let me stop you and tell you it doesn't work. So that's the problem.
That's funny. But the thing is when you're playing online, you jump and do a cross-up kick. Mm-hmm. Oh.
What?
Oh, who's hosting? B. Arthur?
Hey,
Abather.
Abather.
Thank you so much, Evan.
Yeah.
For sure.
Awesome as
That's
hell.
super
Definitely.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when somebody is when you jump up and cross the motherfucker,
Right.
and you kick him in the face,
Yeah.
you're doing that. You're up and you kick, and the kick comes out.
Right.
So what does this mean when they agree on it? Like the fucking players sit down and have tea, be like, "I do believe I'm going to punch you in the face now. Do you agree with this accord?"
Wrong. I was going to block.
Oh, well then, dubious.
Yeah.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, I'm not even sure how it works. Like, I was reading about it, and like I read in some detail, and I was like, it just sounds like it doesn't. Now, what's cool about the GGPO, like other games use this, like Skullgirls, and what the advantage is.
Flappy Sammy's giving us an explanation of something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what he's saying. I'm too far away from the computer screen.
Yeah, it does. It kind of uses a prediction system. It uses like a rollback for GGPO.
Yeah, I don't get that either.
It's basically like if things start to go further ahead, it like rolls it back in sequence. So like if you play a game with GGPO, there might be a time where it feels like it's going to slow down a little bit, but it doesn't. It takes other elements and tries to downplay them. So like Skullgirls, for example, the background and the animations are like all over the place. It's like mega Japanese circus party going on.
There's got to be a tentacle somewhere.
But you can actually you can downgrade the quality of that so that you can get more frames on screen at one time.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I don't think this is going to be GGPO because they said that, but it doesn't sound like they're just implementing it.
So you think it's going to be their own?
Because you're right, because Killer Instinct and Street Fighter both use that as their base coding, but then they've developed their own. I think that's what they've done here.
Gordy, thoughts?
Sounds interesting. I mean, it just depends. Like he's
Yes,
saying,
GGPO.
what he's saying is that it might not be what they're saying. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
I know what he's saying.
Right.
I can hear him. What's that, brother? Are you getting hot in that? You can take it off. Like you don't gotta be like scared.
No.
Like, everybody knows how big it is already.
But in the end, I think ultimately it'll be better than what we have now. What we have now is trash. It's just awful.
So, do you think? Let me ask your opinion on this, both of you,
In chat.
and chat.
Yep.
All of us. 21 viewers. Who? Thanks, Frank. So,
Abather.
do you think, or Abather for sure?
Yeah.
Abather for sure. Do you think that this implementation into Mortal Kombat X will not only revive it to continue on to a Combat Pack 3, or do you think they're doing this to test for Injustice 2?
So that's interesting because I've found a lot of people like reading through my Twitter feed that are like, you know what, I'm already done with the game. I've already moved on. And fighting games, I think, are a little different than some other games out there because the learning curve is so steep and there's so much being discovered, there's so much tech, that if you take a substantial amount of time off from a fighting game and you come back, you are so far behind that you'll probably never catch up, short of going through a grind all over again. So it sounds like there's a lot of people who are like, hey, good for you, you guys are fixing it, I'm still out. Right. So for subsequent sequels, it's really good news.
I scared the shit out of me.
How good that sounds in these monitors.
Awesome.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thanks for the follow,
Yeah.
and for the fucking giant wake-up call that just was for me. Holy shit.
Yeah,
I
Abather.
need to fucking turn that down.
Choo choo on the host train, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, we'll adjust that later. Scared the shit out of me.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, just imagine having these monitors on you're cranked up.
Yeah, oh my god. I thought
yeah.
an instance, I thought like the fucking roof was just coming down.
Just like, what is happening?
Yeah, holy shit. I gotta pick a new noise for that.
Yeah.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
but for
we'll
real,
take that down.
Abather, thank you so much, dude. That's dope. So you think it's too little too late for a lot of players?
I do think it is for a lot of players, unfortunately. But for the players that have stuck with it, it's great news. And obviously, I mean, those players that didn't stick with MKX, they're going to come back later.
Right.
This is a huge investment.
Gordy, how do you feel as a casual player now that you know what we're talking about?
Right.
Or do you know what we're talking about?
I have a good picture of what you're talking about.
In as plain of terms as we can get, they're redoing the netcode for Mortal Kombat X so it runs smoothly. Mm-hmm. As a casual player you're like about as casual as it gets. Will that entice you to play online more? Is that something you care about?
It will maybe entice me to play with my friends, but like what he was saying, jumping into a match with someone else is like suicide at this point.
Right.
But being able to get on with Ace and playing some Mortal
Playing
Kombat
with your friends.
and knowing that it's going
and
to work
that's- I was
is enticing.
Talking to Ace about this yesterday, or maybe the day before, and he's like, "This is great. We can start up our King of the Hill rooms again, and like actually have fun playing the matches."
Right, and like you were excited and stuff. You're like, I'll play it. It didn't mean you were going to do it competitively, but you were excited to do it regardless. And Flappy is saying in here too, he thinks that they're really trying to revive it. I think he's right to a degree, because anybody who's stuck with it or has been on the fence, like I myself, I've been on the fence several times where I'm like, God, I can't stand playing this anymore. You know, I don't want to play it online. I'm just going to play it at competition or tournaments or whatever.
Right.
But now a player who is on the fence might invest into Combat Pack 3 and they were not going to, or 2, or whatever else comes on down the road. So they can keep DLC going because they're like, hey, remember that time you guys complained and we fixed it? And we're like, oh, yeah, you did do that.
What's interesting, if I could say, is on a competitive side of things, I'm a bit more interested now on playing a bit more heavy into the competitive side of it. So,
sorry, I do have to argue with the chat for a second. I disagree with Tim. CD Jr. learned the game within the last month, basically. Can we pull like elite players out of this equation, like CD Jr., that can top tier any game that he wants to, whenever he wants to?
Yeah,
the guy picks up a game and will, finish in a top 8 if he feels like
the thing
it.
about CD Jr. is he's a fantastic player, and
Right.
it doesn't matter what kind of fighter it is. Some dudes are just born with the innate ability to be incredible at fighters. No matter what
Right.
the netcode, no matter how laggy, no matter how many frames per second they're getting.
Oh, dude, and those fundamentals, they
just get
transfer across the board to all fighters. Like, if you have fundamentals, they carry over.
Right.
So I was talking to LL Paul B the other day on Facebook, and he was like,
Our Colorado regular.
Right, and he's like, I might jump back in as well. But of course, he's like a top Killer Instinct player in the world. So he can jump in and he can hang with everybody.
Right.
But again, he's a top player in the world.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
He's Killer Instinct, especially.
Chase said he quit playing online. I've never played Chase online, but I've heard that his connection is awful. So maybe for a guy like that's always been miserable, maybe he'll have an opportunity to get back on and play like normal matches again.
Yeah, well, I totally quit playing online because the frustration was so... Well, you did it as well. But I couldn't attribute, because I practiced, I did what I could, and I thought I had a decent handle on a couple of characters, and I'd hop online, and I couldn't tell, is this a skill-based loss, or did I lose because my inputs aren't connecting?
You literally can't level up.
Yeah, so I just was like, fuck it, I'm going to play Killer Instinct. Now, though, the whole world is opened back up to me, and I'm like, that's a pretty fantastic thing. Yeah. Maybe. I think it's great because, one, it says a lot, because MK9 came out, same netcode. Injustice came out, same netcode. And so they could have very well just let it ride into Injustice 2, but it shows that they're listening to their fans, which is important as a developer, and it makes me respect NetherRealm quite a bit. I don't know... Because they didn't have to, because they already had the sales.
Right.
They got all of our money. It was the top fighting game of 2015.
Top fighting game, yeah.
So, they didn't have to do that.
But, I mean, like I said, there's going to be a split. I mean, you can't say, like, everybody's coming back or everybody's abandoned it. I'm just saying, like, when I read my Twitter feed, and my Twitter feed's a bunch of people who are like, I was done with it. I'm not coming back.
Yeah.
There's a few other people who are like, I'll give it a shot.
Part of me also wonders if they're trying to combat the huge hype wave of Street Fighter V.
The juggernaut.
Because they know they were going to get lost underneath it. How can they stay afloat once that wave crashes?
Beating Killer Instinct's not hard.
No, because they've got the marketing and the budget power behind them.
Yeah.
Killer Instinct, though, I don't know. Arguably, I think, is a better fighter in some regards. Mm-hmm. So, and I've always thought that because it's now going on 3 years playing it consistently, whereas I get bored of Mortal Kombat mega easy. But I don't have a Killer Instinct tattoo, so it's hard to say what I really feel. I'm conflicted. I'm like Kylo Ren. Do I want to kill my dad? Do I not want to kill my dad? Spoilers. I don't know. If you haven't seen it by now, Tristan, I don't know what to tell you. Oh, yes, that was creepy in Image Name. Most certainly. So I think it's great. I'm very excited about it. But I have to wonder, does this pave the way to Combat Pack 3 or in ESL Season 3? Are these things a possibility?
I'd be curious to know what chat says about that, too. I wonder if there'll be a Season 3 for ESL.
If there did...
so Season 1, it was a top 16, and top 16 played on Wednesday, and it got good views. And now it's a top 8, so they kind of cut it off. And there's less players in Season 2, but they're all killers. right? Like the casuals jumped into season 1. They're like, this isn't for me. I'm getting bodied. And the netcode was bad. Season 3, it makes sense to come back because now people are going to be like, the online's improved. I want to jump back in it. So it makes sense for them to do a season 3 after the new netcode is released.
Totally. I would give it a solid try. I think, I can't say that
Why
I
not?
do well. But
It's free. You do it from your house.
yeah, there's no reason why I wouldn't try it now that there's nothing but skill holding me back. What do you got, Flappy Sammy? There will be, if the netcode is a success. Yeah, totally. I guess it all depends on how this beta goes. So they're launching with 4 characters, which is strange. It makes me feel like they're building their guts of the game over again to work with the new netcode.
And essentially they are.
Yeah. Oh, what? You got that to work? The little button? What the fuck? We couldn't get it to work. Okay.
So many live studio audience members tonight. More than we're used to.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But this is great. I want that footage when you're done. Anything else you want to add? Gordy, thoughts?
No, I think.
Are you excited for Injustice 2? Is that dropping it now?
Mm-hmm.
This is on footage.
And here it is. Record it. Hit the record button.
First week of June, they're going to drop that teaser trailer for Injustice 2. What would blow my mind, and what they should do, is they would drop the teaser trailer for Shaolin Monks 2, or some sort of MK adventure game.
I'd like that very much. I mean,
Yeah, fuck yeah, Gordy.
It would be Injustice if they do.
Don't shake your head at me.
Yeah. You shake your head.
You not a Shaolin Monks guy?
No, I guess you could say I'm more of an Injustice guy, but don't want to claim either.
Do you know what the fuck I'm talking about? Shaolin Monks?
Yeah.
What?
The video game? You want some footage of it?
No, I've got footage.
Yeah,
but it's
I
just
know.
like you're like, oh, I'm more of an Injustice guy. So you're saying you're more of an Injustice guy than a Mortal Kombat guy?
No, than just that one particular portion of it.
I think Shaolin Monks is one of the best MK games, hands down, on the whole series.
I mean,
Just wasn't that invested
if
in it.
he's more invested in fighting, I mean, because it's an adventure game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, but even, and I'm probably in the
May
minority.
come as a surprise to you. I play a lot of fighting games.
What?
Yeah.
What?
That's silly.
Yeah.
Impossible.
That's not true. That's impossible. See, Chase knows what's up. Shaolin Monks, and if I can say, and I said this, and I even was going to say it to Ed Boon when I called his house that night, that the multiplayer component to Shaolin Monks was, I feel like, how MK should have went with a Bushido Blade style free roam.
Well, instead you hung up.
Yeah, I know. Well, his wife really had that tone of voice that was like 4 a.m. Hello. Yeah. Freaked me
I
out.
hope that's not how he sounds.
Sounded like-
Ed, come back to bed.
Marge Simpson. It sounds like one of Marge's sisters.
Homie.
Yes. S&M is life. Flappy Sammy Hammy.
For all you young viewers out there.
S&M, for sure. Now, let's move on.
The good news is they listened, so let's
They
go.
listen, and I'm excited to try it out. So that's coming. The beta sign-ups are the January 19th.
Yeah.
Right? So next
I'll
week.
sign up for it for sure.
And for those of you that don't know, you have to have an hour's worth of online play under your belt before they'll consider you to
Yeah.
let you in the beta. So, before you can even apply, I think.
Yep.
Oh, and bring me a Pepsi. Okay, the next thing that I want to talk about, and this is an interesting subject. So, the game Hitman was scheduled to come out in March. Okay, suddenly
True.
they canceled everyone's pre-orders.
I was like, let's pre-order it.
Yeah, let's pre-order it. But boom,
No, you can't.
canceled. And people were like, what the fuck? Why is my game canceled? And they're like, don't worry, the game's still coming out. Stay tuned.
Kinda.
And everyone's like, what's that mean? Then they revealed Hitman is switching to an episodic franchise. So what was a $60 game is now coming out in pieces, you could say, for smaller amounts of money.
Did they do the price point on it yet
Yes.
per episode?
See.
Yeah.
Si, senor. Si, senor. The intro pack will launch on March 11th. I'm reading from the notes. Let me pull this little bad boy. And that's going to consist of the prologue and the Paris locale. Okay? And actually, I don't have a price point for that, but I think... Oh, it's $15.
Okay.
So, reasonable amount. And then they
It would have been cool if it was free. Like Telltale Games always gives away like season 1 to try and hook you.
Episode 1.
Yeah. They're like crack dealers. They're like, here's your first one. You'll come back for your second.
Right.
Yeah.
And then after that, future locales will be released as add-ons for $10 each. But players have the option of purchasing the full experience for $60. So you could buy it as it once was for $60, but you don't get it all up front. You get it as it's released.
Right.
Or you buy it little chunks at a time. Thoughts? Because this is becoming a trend.
Right, but it's becoming a trend because it works.
It does work.
Right? Because not everybody always has $60 for starters.
Right.
Right? Like, man, I sure wish I could buy a game this month. I don't have $60, but I do have 15. And the month after, like, I do have 10, and it keeps them playing it for a longer period of time. Because, like, if you go out and you buy a brand new game right now that's, not like a fighter or not a sports game, something that is maybe more story driven, like Hitman would have been, because you can probably compare that more to like Tomb Raider, right?
Right.
Where I go to GameStop, I give them $60, I get the game, I get it home, 8 to 10 hours later, I'm driving back to GameStop to trade it in because I'm done with it, right? So with Hitman, they might have the capability with this that they can keep me, giving them money over a longer period of time and keep me engaged in a longer period as well, instead of just falling off the radar. Because like Hitman does, it falls off the radar all the time, and it's just like the classic fans are like, yes, we're getting another Hitman.
Are you a Hitman fan?
I've never played any of them.
Okay.
Yeah, I know some people who are like, they're the fans, like they're all over it, but I was like, I skipped it, same reason.
You play Hitman, Gordy?
I played the Hitman on 360, one of them. I tried the second one. I wasn't a big fan, but I played the first one on 360.
I have never been a big fan, but I've been watching gameplay videos and trailers. You have the trailer, yeah? Let's just let that roll while we talk. This particular trailer, I was like, okay, so Hitman's starting to
This is mature, 17 and up, everybody.
Yes.
There's a little warning for you.
Yep. There's perhaps a murder or two. But this is the first thing that I saw. This is from E3 2015. That I was like, okay, this game doesn't look shitty anymore. I mean, maybe it never did look shitty, but
No, it never looked bad.
I
never,
think
like,
I
dated.
tried one back in the day, and the mechanics were so weird and clunky that I just wasn't feeling it. You would. It's got that whole costume aspect where you'd kill a guy and you steal his costume, but you would just like walk over him and then press a button and zzz, you'd be in the suit.
Yeah.
And I'm like cutting corners. But
And so far, I mean, you watch this trailer. This looks great.
Of course, because this is pre-rendered nothingness. But yes, it looks.
But this trailer alone is enough to get, I think, a lot of people to start to be like, you know what, I'll give you $60, which is why they had pre-orders in the first place.
Play as like Jesse Pinkman or whatever. Boss Battle Ace, Hitman is my jam. The last one was Totes Fab.
Totes Fab, quote of the night. Hashtag Totes Fab.
Boss Battle Ace, Totes Fab, was that Xbox One or Xbox 360? Give me deets on that last one. But now, the question now is this is obviously a successful thing in gaming. Mm-hmm. So Killer Instinct, as we know, this is how they do it. Seasons, season 1, season 2, we're going to season 3, $20 a pop. Which could mean that is why I have been consistently playing Killer Instinct for 3 years, because it's consistently fresh with new shit.
And they're just trickling content out to you at a very digestible amount of money.
Right.
Right? Like, it's never super expensive.
Right.
You're like, oh, yeah, I'll give you $10 for Shadow Jago.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then, like the Telltale games, a lot of people are always on the fence about Telltale games.
Right.
You either think they're the greatest thing, or you think they're dumb as fuck.
Yeah.
I happen to think they're great. My lovely... Oh my god, I'm burping up so many Euro things right now. My lovely lady and I, we play the Telltale games together, and they're super fun. The Game of Thrones ones, it's like watching another Game of Thrones episode. Look, oh man, he is way out of breath.
Just biting at the air.
Yeah.
But then he's calm again, and everything's okay.
If he had hair, he'd be a handsome guy. Mr. Clean. Side note, did you see the Hitman movies?
No.
I don't think anybody did.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay, now, I don't want to rant on this too long, but that was in like the golden era of video game movies being at the lowest of the low. Like any video game movie came out, it was just garbage.
I think that era was well before Hitman
It was
movies.
a long era.
But it was
Oh,
still
Yeah, 'cause
still in the middle of that.
that era started with Super Mario Brothers, the movie.
Big Bertha.
Big Bertha, Dennis Quaid, or no, not Dennis Quaid, Dennis Hoffman. No,
Yeah.
what's that fucking guy's name? What?
you just started naming people. And it was like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon going on over here. You're like, Kevin Bacon. Kevin Bacon was Bowser. And
Eventually, the
Dennis Hopper?
Hopper.
Yes.
Hopper. Yeah. Well, eventually, a combination of names would click.
Right.
Well, yeah, he was King Koopa. You know, it was just a mess.
Yeah.
And John Leguizamo. Mario. We should do a whole episode on video game movies.
Oh, that'd
And,
be great.
And like,
yes.
Mystery Science Theater, that shit. Mm-hmm. Gordy?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Word.
The Wizard.
I'm into that.
Number
The
one.
Wizard. Oh, you're into it? Cool.
Well, does that count as a video game movie? Because it's not like derived
That's not
from.
a-
That's
no,
not
it's
a
a-
video game movie.
And it's not a bad video game movie, okay? I mean, it's so bad, but it's not bad.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
And I totally agree with Flappy here. Telltale Batman, I'm all over that.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Yeah. Well, I have all the Telltale games in my collection. I just have only played half.
He's dying, everybody. He's dying.
I'm halfway.
I know CPR. Don't worry.
Oh, hey, he's a nurse.
No,
So
not Gordy. Members of our live
Yeah.
studio audience. Is there a doctor in the house?
yeah, I
EMT.
guess I'll do it. I've only played through the first half of Game of Thrones, so I have Walking Dead. I haven't started it yet. I've heard it's fantastic. So, yes. So I think episodic style of gameplay is totally successful business plan.
Right.
And it doesn't surprise me at all that more companies are starting more and more and more. I actually would be on board if it became the norm. Like, I have no problem, like, if a Halo came out for $20 and they're like, here's Halo multiplayer only for
Exactly.
$29.99,
Right.
and we'll keep giving you maps, and then 6 months down the road we release
Give me a
single player.
way to get Call of Duty without having to pay for the campaign.
Give me a way to play Call of Duty without having to pay for it and support it at all.
But what's also nice though is new franchises, right? Like I didn't play the Hitman, so now I'm like, okay, here's $20.
Give it a try, right?
Oh my god, I love it.
Yeah.
Now I'll give you $10 next time around. Like that's a great way to bring people in.
Totally.
Because $60 is a huge investment, and let's face it, more and more people are getting away from the old school, physical copy. People digitally buy stuff now.
Oh, yeah.
There's no trade-in value, so this actually makes a lot more sense.
Yep.
Yep.
Totally.
Short of just doing a subscription service, which would be way cooler.
But then, what does that mean? What's the overall cost we're looking at for the average game? If it's $15 this month, $15 this month, are we looking at
Well,
a
it's a-
$200 game?
That's another good point because Killer Instinct, season after season, the base package is $20, or you can buy the ultra combo package for $40, which I always buy because right. So for a game that should be $60 and no more, I'm now going into $90 that I'll have spent on it. So it's to me is it the same as buying a $60 game and then buying a $40 DLC pass? Is you're just dividing it up over longer periods of time for
Right.
smaller amounts of money. So that's the shit side of it.
And that I'm okay with, because like back in the day, like the DLC was like originally how it designed is like you bought the core game, and then they added something later on down the road for an additional price, and you bought it.
Yep.
Now DLC is not that. Now DLC is like they eat a piece of your pie, and then you pay to get that piece of the pie back. So you end up buying a full game now for $100.
So I
So
saw
if a game's $300, but they keep giving me something new, 10 or $15 at a time, I don't care. There's nothing wrong with that.
yeah. So I saw an interesting analogy yesterday in a picture. It was a picture of a hamburger and fries and Coke, and it said, back in the day, the hamburger base game, fries DLC, Coke DLC, and then the next picture was now, and it had 2 buns base game, and then it said bacon DLC, fucking tomatoes DLC,
Yep.
meat DLC, stuff like that, and it's
That's
like,
great.
yeah, and it's totally true.
Yeah.
So it's an interest. I'd like to know what the chat thinks about this episodic journey that
Yeah.
games are starting to take. Because think about your favorite franchises. How would you feel about, Zelda or Mario becoming a episodic franchise? Like, here's the World 1-1 for $5.99. and you get to play those 8 levels in.
There's an upside and a downside, in my opinion, but the cost is the upside. Like an incomplete experience.
But the cost might balance out.
It might.
Okay, so
Like
maybe I
your
spent a little
ratio.
bit more on Mario because I really like it and I keep giving him money. But let's say I played another franchise and I bought like just the episode 1 or whatever and I hated it. That's a huge savings. That's maybe like a $50 savings that you could look at it as opposed to, you know,
So a game.
buying 2 games at $60 a piece.
True.
And like Tim is Fat is saying, it sounds stupid, but the first season is everything in these games. You know, it's like a trilogy in a movie.
Right.
You know, they're not going to get you to come see the second one unless the first one is really good, has a ton of buzz, and is worthwhile.
Yeah, totally.
So are we essentially forcing them to make a quality product in order us to hook into more?
That's true. That's
Yeah.
an interesting way of looking at it. That's fucking interesting, man. That's fucking interesting. What movie is that from? Gordy?
Back to the Future.
Nope.
No,
They don't
wait.
say
That-
that.
You say that one so many times. It's he's being the dude.
I am being the dude.
Yeah.
The Big Lebowski. Thank you.
I think I'm for it.
What do
too,
we got? I've got a
honestly.
lot of stuff in chat here. What are we missing?
Okay, so Chase is saying he doesn't like them because he forgets about them.
So, okay. Well, flip side of that, Chase. Let's say your favorite game is Mortal Kombat from what I know about you. So say Mortal Kombat switched to a season-based thing. Season 1, 10 characters, 1999, 8 stages. Kind of like we got with the fucking $60 MKX. And then, 6 months down the road, you get season 2, another 10 characters, so on and so forth. That could keep it fresh,
Right.
but, what do you think about that? I want to know, Chase. Because if it's a game you're very passionate about, would you forget about it?
No. And he's saying, I hate DLC, but we'll pay for it if the game is good. It's not even really DLC that you're buying. You're just continuing to buy the story. So it's like a comic book series that comes out. You
Right.
read the first issue and you're like, this is trash. I'm not going to read the second one.
Right.
But if you really like it, you're going to go get the second one, third one, fourth one and keep them going.
Yeah. And another thing to be said that's fun is the social experience. Like when you're watching a TV show and you go onto the forums and you're like, "Oh my god, what's going to happen next?" You're doing that with the game. Everyone's speculating. It's kind of fun.
Yeah,
It's
totally.
just a perk. It's nothing. It's not like a big
Right, and as long
talking
as they're not spaced out too far, you have the ability to keep that conversation going, which is really cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think they're going to do next, right? So, like, right now, all the buzz is, like, everybody's talking about, like, Episode 8. So we get some time to talk about Star Wars and what they're going to do with the next one and, who's Rey belong to, blah, blah, all that stuff, and you can speculate all day, and it's really fun to do.
Side
If
note,
it's in short amounts, it does that.
Side note, there's a lot of talk. Nope.
Spoiler-free?
Nope. Yeah, spoiler free.
Okay. He's like, nope.
Yeah.
Gigantic spoilers coming now.
But there's a lot of talk from Colin Trevorrow or whatever, who's doing episode 9, that you're not going to find out Ray's parentage until episode 9. So
Yeah.
we got a ways to go, I feel.
But it's cool. We can have that talk.
We can have that talk.
Because it's
Speculate.
we can speculate. It's recent enough in the future that we'd be able to do that,
Right.
right? And I get what Chase is saying here. He doesn't like it for story games because it does split up the experience. But if you look at like great movies, they're trilogies or whatever. They're always split up. A great story can be longer than 8 hours, right? Because if a video game's too long, that's reason enough to drop it as well.
That's true.
I mean, have you ever played a game where you're like, geez, like you look it up, like you look up like how many chapters are left, and you're like,
Yeah, it's
never
called The
mind.
Witcher 3.
Right? Yeah.
Like, I was so invested in that game, and then I took some time off of it, and the reason I haven't gone back to it is because it is such a daunting game. I'm like,
And I've heard that from Witcher players before.
And you probably feel the same way, don't you, fuckface?
Exactly.
Yeah. And Ace says here, games have always been standard at $59.99 for a long time now. Not surprising that developers are finding new ways to make money.
And they're saying like, oh, I want to nerd out until it's over, and then hope they will give me more.
Who says that?
That's what Tim is Fat is saying.
Oh.
So take that same theory and apply that to The Last of Us. Right. I mean, The Last of Us. I mean, you can ask any gamer who's ever played it; they want more.
Oh, and they gave you more.
Right, and they did. They did
I
a
never played
DLC.
it.
I think the DLC was equal, if not better, than parts of the story. I
would-
really liked it. I think it is the best DLC of all time
It wouldn't surprise me
because
because
it made the story better.
Naughty Dog doesn't do shitty things.
Right.
Yeah.
But if they would have broken it up a little bit, right, and then we have that one, and then maybe we have another story, like The Last of Us would still be alive.
Right. That's true.
And we
is
could still be playing that. And like every couple months, we're like, oh, the new chapter of The Last of Us is coming out.
That's
and we
true.
would still be hanging on that thread because the game's that good.
That is true.
Yeah.
Well, and to another point, so Crackdown 3 is coming out this year. I don't know if you're familiar with the Crackdown series. Are you?
I didn't play them. No.
Gordy and
Oh,
I
yeah.
are familiar. So
I'm not a big sandbox open world guy.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So Crackdown 3 comes out in sometime this year, and they showed off at E3. They showed off the tech where you could destroy the entire game world is destructible, like to the T. But only in multiplayer, and then in the story mode, it's a little bit different. The physics aren't quite as expansive because it's story driven. But in
Right.
multiplayer, you can destroy any and everything. And now they're talking about that they're going to release multiplayer first as a $30 experience, and story mode will come out like 2 or 3 months later. And everyone's talking about that right now. Like, is that
There's still some buzz to it.
there's some buzz to it? And now, when I first heard that, when I think Crackdown, I'm like, I don't want to fucking play Crackdown with 30 other people. I want to it's fun to just run around the city. But now, when I think about the possibilities of Gordy and I running through a city, just blowing up things together, killing gang
Right.
members and stuff, I'm like, that's actually really cool.
Right.
And then I think, that'd be cool to dig into that first. And by the time I would have been done with the game totally, I'll still have the whole entire story mode to look forward to for an add-on.
And that's super cool.
Super cool.
And something I want to clarify this in the chat because people keep using the term DLC. This is not DLC that we're talking about, right?
Right.
So DLC is like downloadable content that's in addition. And again, in the core days, DLC was like a map pack. You got 4 new things that you didn't have initially. DLC later evolved to splitting up one full experience into multiple chunks to get your money and then plus more money later on down the road. That's not what Episodic is doing. Episodic is taking like that $60 and breaking it into, like 4 pieces, $15 at a time.
Right.
So ideally, you're not paying more for it. You're just buying each individual section of it, a la carte. Right. So instead of ordering, the number one meal, you're ordering a Big Mac and a Coke and a whatever you want. Right. So it's a little different. It's not splitting up the experience
No, totally.
for sake of gaining more money. It's just splitting it up so they can deliver it, piece by piece. It's not going to be the same
Keep you
as
around longer.
Right, exactly. It's not the same as like just standard DLC because nobody in the world hates DLC more than these guys.
That's
right?
true.
Yeah.
I think we've made videos about it.
Yeah, we've complained about it a time or two.
Yeah, and we'll probably do so more so come E3 this year.
Yeah.
2016. With that said, we're coming down into our final 10 minutes or so. So we're going to start winding it up. If anybody's got questions or anything they want to throw about in the chat, let's rock it now. Let's address it as we can. We're going to start trying to keep these down to about an hour or so just for prosperity's sake.
And we've got great points in the chat here as well where they're talking about how it's a difference in personality and mood. Some people like to watch, the TV show as it comes out. Other people like to binge watch it,
Yep.
On Netflix or on DVD set or whatever it is. Right? And it depends. Some things, like, I like to watch Game of Thrones as soon as it comes out because I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to hear anything about it. Like, the second it rolls, I want to watch it. Like I'm in that moment. But there's other things later on down the road that I don't mind just, like, sitting down for 8 hours and watching the whole experience.
But would you be more into Game of Thrones if HBO was like, guys, Netflix is the hot thing. Game of Thrones can now be the whole thing at once on HBO Now or HBO Go or whatever.
Right.
How open to that would you be?
This is great, though. It proves my point because I've done both with Game of Thrones. I didn't get into Game of Thrones until the start of season 3. So season 1 and
My
season
curse
2
was discovering it on the very first episode and having to wait a week each fucking time I want to see it. Yeah.
But so I watched seasons 1 and 2 over the course of a weekend into Sunday night's episode or whatever of season 1, episode 3. And now
Season 1?
or episode 1 of season 3.
Oh, right.
So now I am doing exactly what I said. I loved the product and I'm sitting back and I'm watching and I'm engaged.
Like the OC, for example.
Right,
with
exactly.
Sam
Yes. But I'm engaged. Like, I'm engaged, and I want to talk about it. I want to talk with other people about it, and be like, what's coming next? What's going to happen next week? Watch an episode, talk about it, and then it's okay to sit back for 7 days and just enjoy what I just watched.
Digest.
To digest it, yeah.
Because so many just heartbreaking things happen in that show.
Now, let's
that you-
assume, though, that there was only 3 seasons of the show.
Yeah.
And I watched all of them in a course of 3 days. Would I still be talking about it? Probably not.
No. Oh, you
It'd be
remember-
done and over with.
you remember-
You remember?
You remember the time when I had a fucking dick in my throat? No, yeah, you're totally right. It keeps the experience alive to a degree that's unheard of. You know, there's shows that go on for years that are talked about after postmortem, I guess you could say. But if they were all at once, like this, yeah, sure, we probably wouldn't even be giving it a second thought.
Yeah, because I mean, you just gorge yourself on it. Say that's the greatest thing I've ever eaten, and then you wouldn't talk about it again.
Yep.
As opposed to, being active. You're in a forum. You're reading about it. You're buying a book. You're buying the fan theories. Like you want to talk about it. You want to stay engaged. You want to see that next one coming.
Yep.
If you do that with a full game, like Hitman, which is not an annualized deal, we'd buy it, we'd gorge on it, and we would forget about it completely until they announce another one 5 or 6 years from now.
See, I'm of the mind, and these are my closing thoughts on the matter, I guess, that all games, don't care what genre it is, should be looking at an episodic formula. Assassin's Creed, I fucking am so sick of that series. But if they were like, they just took a break and they're like, okay, boom, Assassin's Creed is now, you pay $20 for Assassin's Creed. Here's your character. We will give you new locations and missions and storylines as, episodes, for every 6 months. Here's Egypt, scour it, fucking do what you want. And then 6 months from there, here's China, here's Japan.
Yeah.
I will be so dope. I will be so on board with Assassin's Creed if they did those types of things.
Every 6 months, you like, what's coming next?
Yeah.
Where's the story going? I'm going to play it. I can't wait for it.
Yep.
And right now, they're just doing an annualized full version that feels
Starts,
like it's
finishes, and it's over with, and then you don't think about it again.
And it's not quality the way they do it like that.
Not quality at all. So I'm for it. I think it's a great business model, and I wish I'm excited to see more companies get on board with it, and I'm excited to see how it transitions into our future.
There's just less risk for consumers. 10 or $15 as opposed to $60 out the door.
Yeah, and that's a good point, Chase, that giving away the first episode of an episodic game is just a demo in disguise. Sure, but demos, of course, are, neutered experiences. This is a full experience, just a portion,
right.
So, anywho, any closing thoughts? Gordy, what are your thoughts on episodic games? For, against, anything?
It just comes down to, like, Timmy TJ Combo's scoring system, He compares it to a movie, the amount of time you spend on it. Is it worth how much you pay? And it sounds like it's going to be like that for most experiences. I'm totally down. Some games are just going to be better standalone. Some I'm going to want to revisit that character over and over again and share the experience with people online. So I'm
think about
cautiously into it.
Think about this scenario. Say they release Tenchu. So a new experience in Tenchu, but instead of a Tenchu and a Tenchu 2, Tenchu 3, Tenchu is Tenchu. But you get season 1 of Tenchu where you play Rikimaru and on a series of missions, and then you get your start and end, and then season 2 Rikimaru and a new thing, and it keeps you going for 4 or 5 years instead of you play the whole game at once and you're done and over it.
So
that would be
it's
cool.
more like a big journey
it's
that
like
you're
a journey.
going through with the character.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd be on board with that.
Absolutely. Guys, anything that's for next week? If you want to, 2 things. If there's any topics that you guys want to maybe hash out next week, put them in the chat below. Yeah. And
you guys can tweet us stuff too.
We
like, hey, talk about this next week.
Yeah, and we will. The cool thing is we are now completely all set up and ready to go to have people Skype in for guests on the show. So starting next week, we will have probably a guest, maybe almost every week. Someone different, new opinions, thoughts, Skyping in. So if you want to be on the show, you have an opportunity to do so. So, hit us up, send us a message, email us, drop us a note.
Yeah. Right now, we're just on Saturday night for an hour. So if you guys are in here right now, click the follow button, hang out with us.
Yeah. If you're watching right now, we are live every Saturday, and if you haven't watched us before, a follow would appreciate it because some nights are a little bit weird and fun, and
get active in the chat.
And eventually we'll start doing Boss Battle Show Gaming, where we'll play games with you guys online. We'll probably start doing those Wednesday nights. I'd say that'll probably pick up maybe February, March or so.
Yeah.
Flappy
was saying that we should both try and get into the netcode beta. Absolutely. I'll sign up on that.
I'm gonna try for sure.
And I'd love to see him do it as well because he's a Sub-Zero main. So since Sub-Zero will be in it, it's
Flappy?
really curious to see like how how well it would transfer over from somebody who's been like, you struggle with the current netcode, and then they put you in this situation, and you just become godlike.
Yeah, Flappy, that's a good point. We will most certainly sign up for it. We have no control if they let us in or not, but if we do, we will probably make a video about our experiences, but we'll talk about it for sure.
Tim is Fat's talking about the Division beta. Is that open? Is that an open beta? Do you need access? What do you need?
I have heard a couple different things that it's closed, but I also heard that it could be open. So I've heard numerous things. I don't know.
So a lot of betas do this, where they start off closed,
yeah.
and then they're like, okay, we've got some base data. Open the floodgates, see if we can break this thing. If they do that, I'd be more than happy. I'll sign up for it and check it out, because I've been kind of watching
Is that
it for a while.
happening now in some capacity?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I'll check it out. That's a Tom Clancy one where they're in like an abandoned New York or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one looks cool.
Yeah, it looks like I Am Legend.
Yeah.
With all the stuff they show. But with
people. Not vampires.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, we are going to call it a night, and, thanks for hanging out, and thanks for that hosting. That
no
was
kidding.
super
Thank
cool.
you very
Yeah,
much.
definitely.
Yeah, it totally pumped us up. So thank you so much for that, and we'll see you guys next week. Say goodbye to Gordy and Frank. Ben the Bunny. He's back there.
Ben the Bunny.
Ben the Oh, there he is. Boom, motherfucker. All right. See you guys. We'll see you next week.